What's the word? What's the word, baby? Hope everybody is enjoying this beautiful weekend, man. Earth Day coming up. We just had a little 420 yesterday. And we're a couple days away from the NFL draft officially taking place, man. So you know we got to talk some more of these mock drafts that you all have sent in. Salute each and every one of y'all as well for sending in all of the mock drafts that y'all have been sending in, man. Whether we react to them on the podcast when it's me and the homie Deke, or the solo vibes that we've been kicking on the past couple of weekends, man. Either way, like I said, man, we're going to react to them, man. So salute each and every one of y'all for that. And, we might, next week get a couple of more fan mocks in, but we obviously know on Monday's podcast, man, we will be doing our first, our official show mock draft, all right, where we're gonna operate together. I'll be the GM, Deke be the head coach, and we'll let the fans be the fans. Y'all could be like the, I don't know, we're gonna call y'all just yet. Y'all could be the extra, if me and him can't agree on something. But that will be for tomorrow's live, man. So you definitely don't want to miss that, man. Like I said, we'll do that at 4:00, man. But plenty to talk about, man. Whether, like I said, these mocks, I don't know if y'all was up late last night like the boy was, but shout out to the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight. Woo, boy, was not expecting it to go that way. Holy smokes, was not expecting that, man. But we also got NBA playoff action going on as well, man. So yeah, man, we definitely at a dope spot right now, man. But you already know the drill, man. Hit that like button on the front end. Don't forget to subscribe, all right? So with that being the case, but I do want to get these shout outs in, but I do need to know, man, before we get to the shout outs, because once we start doing shout outs, that means we've officially started, right? And then I got to start throwing the mock drafts. You got to start reacting, all that other stuff, right? So before we get to the official part of today's show, man, let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia fight, man. Yeah, I need to know. Because it was a lot to unpack with that fight. Obviously, the lead up, people was going crazy, asking questions about where, Ryan's mind was at and how prepared he was. He obviously missed weight, 3 pounds over. Man, we thought Devin Haney was, Devin Haney. Yeah, man, fundamentals, power, all that, right? He's supposed to be the next best thing besides Tank. And, yeah, we thought Garcia was just speed in the left hook. But, boy, yeah. Garcia looked fire. He looked fire, man. Oh no. The way he looked last night had me thinking, hey, bro, maybe you need to run that back with Tank. But I forgot Tank a different animal. But the way he looked last night, yeah. So let me see what y'all said over here, man. How did y'all feel about it? Quan Summer says, yeah, man, Devin Haney disappointed him. Man, Rod Dollar says, I told my pops Ryan was going to drop Devin and win. Now, I'm not tripping on dropping him. But, man, he was whooping him. It wasn't full-on Bud Crawford and Earl Spence. It wasn't all the way there. But it was flirting with that towards the back end. Devin Haney looked good in spurts, though. Devin Haney at the first part, man, looked good. And then it was just like, duck, stop. Yeah. Rod Dollar says, I'm so bad I'm not betting on the guy. All right. The Jacob Blasio says it wasn't a fight. Big Earn 772 says Haney ran his mouth and got it exposed. Yeah. It was crazy, man. It was definitely one of the ones, man. So, like I said, man, salute to y'all on the late night for watching the fight, man. Yeah, definitely did not see that coming, man. But if they run it back, man, it will be interesting because Haney had his moments, man. Haney was up on the cards big prior to getting knocked down. So that's the part where you're obviously like, hey, man, I would like to see what that play out, what that looks like all the way. And then, of course, because the 3 pounds being overweight, you're obviously going to have that question. How much did that impact the fight? What was the difference in it? I know when you look at the side-by-sides of Ryan Garcia versus Haney versus Tank Davis, those body types look very different, man, from a hydration standpoint. So very interesting, man. Very interesting. Yeah. I see you, Rod Dollar. The pride here. His pride was definitely hurt, man. His first time going down in his career, man. We never seen that. But to wrap it up, man, the same way we saw Ryan Garcia have to respond from Tank Davis, right? Putting him down and ultimately stopping the fight and winning. We've seen, Ryan had to go back in the lab, and he came back and he looked way better than the last time we saw him. So we'll obviously give, Devin Haney that same type of grace. All right. Champ, undisputed for a while, man, undefeated for a while. So we'll see, man. Can he get back in that lab and respond from this? But yeah, definitely one of them ones, man. Definitely one of them ones. So now that we've got the miscellaneous part of the stream out, I had to talk a little bit of that. I had to talk a little bit of that. I couldn't help myself. But with that being the case, let's start the show like how we always do. Go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Let me know where you are tuning in from, so that way I can give you this big boy shout out to start the day's show. Cause like I said, man, we got to talk that talk. Oh yeah, they bringing it up. Yeah, he did drop him. It was 5 times. It should have been 5. Low key, should have stopped the fight, man. He had his moments. I thought just Ryan, man, wasn't he showed a little immaturity, man. Punching on the break, losing a point, and then not all the way doing what he's supposed to get him up out of there, man. He had a moment where he could have gone ahead and took him up out of that thing, man. But we'll see. And yeah, I did see some of those reports about them saying Devin Haney broke his jaw. I did see that, Mano. All right, so let's get these shout outs, man. Okay. Rod Dollars tapping in from Youngstown, Ohio, the 330 South Side, baby. Then we also have Corey Martinez tapping in the 915 El Paso, Texas. Shout out to El Paso, Quan Summer in the building. That 323 Watts, California, major love. And what up, Country Malik? I see you in the building, man, in the 843. Charleston, South Carolina. 900 Juice says he loves the Nipsey shirt, man, from the big Tree 10. Shout out to the 310. You already know, man. And yeah, man, gotta rock the Nipsey, man. Like I said, the marathon always continues, man. So yeah, we're gonna always remember his name, man. The impact that he had while he was here. What up, Calvin F in the 270, Owensboro, Kentucky. Shout out to Owensboro. And that boy Cheddar in the 724 Ford City, PA. One time for the culture. Richard Perez in Los Angeles, home of Steeler Nation. Shout out to LA. Speaking of LA, man, seen my Lakers take that L last night. Man, AD and Bron, they showed up, man. I need D-Lo. Give me something extra now. Come on, D-Lo. Don't do me like that. All right. And now, as I'm currently watching the Clippers and the Mavs on as well, man. So shout out to LA in the building, baby. David Cagliari, all right, in the 614, Columbus, Ohio. And then I got a couple left, man. X-Fabs in Lindenhof, Germany. And I will end it once again with the homie Bryce in White House, Ohio. Shout out to White House, Ohio, baby. So, man, I got a couple of mocks that we're going to talk about today, man, as we are, like I said, a couple days away from the NFL draft. And then just kind of, get my thoughts, your thoughts, and see, if any of these we like. So this first mock we're going to talk about is from your boy Dev. Shout out to your boy Dev also, man, sending in his mock draft. And for those that if you want a chance to, like I said, maybe we might get a chance to react to some of these mocks or some additional mocks this week. Not 100% sure just yet with the schedule of everything. But if you want to send something in, man, communicate with us. moatswinners@gmail.com. That's the email address, man. moatswinners@gmail.com. Or arthurmoats.com, right? One or the other, man, so you can get your mock draft sent. And we've also recently updated the website, arthurmoats.com, where you can see a lot more mock drafts from you all that y'all have sent in that we might not get a chance to address on the show, but you can see, just the different thought processes of everybody else is rocking with the channel like that, all right? So arthurmoats.com, definitely check that out. Shout out to the homie DD Smalls, man. He's been keeping the website extra fly, man, and extra updated. So salute him one time for the culture, all right? But your boy Dev right here goes first round wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. At 51 goes TJ Tampa, the corner out of Iowa State. Third round, 84th overall, Junior Colson, LB from Michigan. And then in the second third round pick, 98th overall, Cedric Van Pran, the center out of Georgia. And then at 119, Matt Gonkhaus, Yep, he's the left tackle out of Pitt in the fourth round at 119. And then at 178, I like this cornerback, man, low key. DeCamerion Richardson, DB out of Mississippi State, and then he also spun the block at 195 and went interior D lineman out of Texas A&M, McKinley Jackson. All right, so as we look at this, he obviously went different, right? Instead of going center, first round, gotta get center, he said, man, look, I'm gonna go talent over need of position or positional need. And I don't hate Brian Thomas Jr. as the pick. I mean, obviously we know center is a major need, but Brian Thomas Jr. is a heck of a wide receiver. You talk about big speed, athleticism, can catch that football. And also, when you're just thinking about the theme of the Steelers lately, right? It's competition. Bringing in competition. Nobody gets a free, oh, man, you're the starter. Nobody gets a free, oh, you're the guy this time, right? So when you think about quarterback, we did that. You think about O-line, we're trying to do some of that stuff, right? Talk about some of the secondary stuff. We're trying to bring in extra pieces. Well, when I look at the wide receiver room and we're saying, you know, we want GP to step up and be that number one, I'm with you, and I'm in agreement that we think he can do that. But if you want to push him, if you want to find somebody that can make it where, hey, you're either going to step up and be that bona fide one, or you're going to be an elite number two, Brian Thomas brings you that ability and that type of production that you could get that type of dynamic. All right, so I'm not hating that. But obviously, like I said, man, to skip on center or tackle in that first round, bold. But shout out to Brian Thomas Jr. I like him, man. TJ Tampa, physical corner. He is going to hit you. That is one thing for sure he going to do, man. But good size on him, coverage skills, plays the football really well at the catch point. When you think about JPJ on the other side, obviously he's our CB1. So you bring in TJ Tampa, you got the ability to have him compete with Dante Jackson, or worst case, you bump him into that slot early on. Yeah, I like that. I like how we starting it off though so far. But like I said, obviously we need some O-line help. But we're going to react, all right? Junior Colson, shout out to this pick right here. He is definitely one of the linebackers that I like a lot in terms of off-ball guys. Him, Peyton Wilson, Edgerrin Cooper, all three of those dudes, to me, are the best interior guys, man. Junior Colson, I think, moves extremely well, physical, smart player, obviously just coming off of winning a national championship, playing under Harbaugh, so you feel good about just his preparation process, right? Because he's coming from a coach that already has NFL background, obviously was the hot commodity this offseason getting hired. So definitely like the Junior Colson pickup. Yes, sir. Cedric Van Pran. Now, this is the first chance to address offensive line, or it's the first time that you do address offensive line. Not my favorite of the group in terms of the centers, but if we have to wait till 98th overall to get a center, I do feel like Cedric Van Pran is the best of that tier. And this is the 9 Graham Barton, 9 Jackson Powers Johnson, 9 Zach Frazier tier, right? I think in that next class, man, you do get Cedric Van Pran. I think he's the best of that group. So if that was the approach, I understand it. I don't love it because obviously I kind of get that Kendrick Green PTSD, just not in the sense of player for player, but in the sense of taking him in the third round, and I'm looking to him as being my starter this year. That's the part where, like I said, I'm just a little bit uncomfortable. But like I said, that's just my vibe on it, man. In terms of Matt Goncalves, I like his ability, man, in terms of being a swing tackle. He played left predominantly at Pitt this past season. Good size, fundamentals. Obviously, you have to work on speed rush, anchoring versus the bull. Those are the big things with him. But DeCamerion Richardson, this is one of those guys, man. A ton of talent, athleticism. He has to get better down the grass catch point. That's the knock on him. He's in position a ton of times, man. I was watching him versus LSU, right? Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors. And, man, he is in position. He's in these dudes' hips at times. But their ability to make that combat catch, their ability to, in that last little bit of moment, create that separation, that's the reason why this dude is in the 6 and not going a lot earlier, man. I think for him, I like the potential upside with him, though, man. So, like I said, definitely like that. McKinley, man. McKinley could ball in the interior part of that D-line. Athletic, shoot gaps, man. I like his game. I think he's a little bit on the smaller side per se, but I do like his tape, man. And I think, he's a productive interior D lineman, man. You can't go wrong, in terms of bringing in a guy like him to just compete and have depth in the interior portion of that D line, man. So I'm not tripping. Like I said, I just waiting to get the center to the third. But the talent that you acquired, I don't hate it, your boy Dev. I don't hate it. So y'all guys let me know, man. Let me know how y'all feeling about this here mock. All right. I like it. I'm not tripping. It's like, which one would you rather have? A Brian Thomas, Brian Thomas Jr. In terms of the talent that he has at wide receiver, his ability to stretch the grass, his ability to run with the football. Or would you, say, hey, man, I have to get a center. I have to get a Jackson Powers Johnson or a Graham Barton or a Zach Frazier. But this is an interesting approach right here, man. Quan Summer gives it a B. Rayful Bennett says, I like it. Okay. Michael Hyrack says B. All right. Okay. Still Smoke says, Russ can throw the ball in 2 to 3 seconds. We need weapons, not protection. Respect. And that is one of the things, man, that we've seen around the league, right? Whether you're talking old school New England, whether you're talking the Bengals at times with the Bills. It's like, man, you're not seeing necessarily elite personnel on the offensive line, but what you are seeing is elite precision and playmaking ability by the quarterback. His ability to decipher pre-snap helps them play faster post-snap. And instead of them having to hold the ball that extra half a second or extra second, they're getting it out a half second faster. And that's the thing that kind of has helped their offensive line be a lot better or exceed expectations at times. So with Russ, he is of that same cloth, right? Of being extremely cerebral, but also very talented. That is an approach that could work. So I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. 900 Juice says B+. The Brobarian, shout out to the Brobarian. One time for the coaching. Keep doing what you doing. Just stop wearing ODU stuff, all right? Put on some JMU gear in your life. But he says not bad at all. Okay, Mano gives it a B+. Okay. Ooh. Now this is a good call right here. 900 Juice brings up a very good thing. He says no infinity stones. Now what are we referring to? Bloodlines. Did your daddy play in the NFL, or do you have any type of Steelers connection to get an infinity stone? Now last year we got a lot of them things, man. When you talk Peasy Jr., when you talk Nick Herbig, the Nate Herbig, like we had some of that action going on, right? Typically that's one of the things that we like to do. You don't really get that here, but you do get a Pitt connection. So maybe that counts as like a pseudo infinity stone, all right? Maybe. Okay. But shout out to your boy Dev on this first mock, man. All right, so hit that like button one time, and if y'all are just joining the squad over here, man, if y'all like that first mock, all right. Next up, man, we got the homie Daniel Eggleston. Shout out to Daniel Eggleston as well. Y'all take a peek at that one real quick. About to take a little sip. It's important that y'all hydrate out there, all right? I know a lot of y'all researching over the weekend. No Earth Day coming up, so y'all taking advantage of the planet, and rightfully so. But hydrate, okay? Stay on top of your hydration. All right. So for Daniel Eggleston, first round he trades back. Meant to add that. On that one. Trades back, picks up an additional second round pick in this situation right here. Trades back with the Buffalo Bills. I like your energy. Hopefully the Bills took a wide receiver in your draft. Brian Thomas Jr., if that was the one, I would love it. All right, just throwing it out there. If not, I can understand. But if that was the one, I would love it. So, anywho, takes Amarius Mims at 28th overall, the right tackle out of Georgia. Then at 51 overall goes Zach Frazier, center out of West Virginia. Then from there, at 60th overall, Xavier Legette. That was obviously the additional pick that Daniel Eggleston got out of the trade with the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so then from there, 84th overall went Jeremiah Trotter Jr., inside linebacker out of Clemson. And then at 98th overall, I like this player a lot, Andrew Phillips, corner out of Kentucky. 119, Kyrie Jackson. At 178, Tyler Davis. And then at 195, Jordan Travis. Okay, Shout out to Daniel Eggleston. All right, y'all let me know in the comment section your thoughts on Daniel Eggleston's draft right here. As I look at it, Amarius Mims, you know I'm a fan of him. I get the injury history, but at the same time, when we're talking high ankle sprains, I'm not tripping on that. It would have been interesting to see if Georgia would have made it into the college football playoffs, what that looks like for Amarius Mims then, because that was the big reason why I'm a fan of him. Watching him in the college football playoffs a year ago, semifinals in the national championship, he was blocking dudes to sleep over there. Him, Van Pran, Broderick, they were bullies. I loved it. All right. So I don't, like I said, man, for me, man, trading back to 28 to get him just adds the value to it as well, because you pick up the additional pick in the second round. Definitely like that. Now, if Zach Frazier is there at 51 overall, let's go. Let's go. But there is a legitimate, you know, chance that he is not there. They neither, you know, Barton, JPJ, or Frazier get out of 45, 46 range. That's legit. Okay. But if he's there at 51, man, let's go get him. I'm loving it. At 60, Xavier Legette. Definitely a fan of him, man. Big body, big speed, down the grass, catches, man, just a bully out there, man. Tough to tackle guy as well, man. So definitely a fan of Xavier Legette. I think that that would be a nice complementary piece to George Pickens, and just a wide receiver who I think has, you know, the ability to develop into a wide receiver one. I don't know if he has franchise caliber wide receiver, but I think he could develop into a wide receiver one. He is that type of frame, that type of athleticism. At 84. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. We got an Infinity Stone. Obviously, the younger brother. No, not younger brother. He's the son of Jeremiah Trotter. We obviously know the OG LB that played in Philly for ever. Seemed like, man. But definitely like him, man. Sees the field extremely well in terms of tracking running backs, man, seeing it how they see it. And when you talk about his ability to play downhill, definitely does that really naturally. Physical, fundamental type of dude. Can cover, but more of a blitzer. And at the same time, man, the knock on him is not as athletic as a Edgerrin Cooper, a Peyton Wilson, or even a Junior Colson, but still a heck of a player, very productive player. And when you're talking about that physicality in the AFC North, think more athletic Landon Roberts. So definitely like him, man. Andrew Phillips. Yeah, you want to talk about some speed, some physicality, a dude that can play on that outside? That's Andrew, man. Definitely like him. You bring him into this mix. Dante Jackson, JPJ. Yeah, we definitely could work with him. Kyrie Jackson, the double up on the corners right here is fire. Because Kyrie's like more of the physical dude. Andrew's more of my speed dude. But just adding two high quality players, like I said, man, to that DB room, a spot that we obviously want to add more production to. Definitely like those dudes, man. Tyler Davis is unique, man. Nice frame on him, flashes at times, but the big reason why he's at 178 is just not as consistent as you would like. You know, he passes the eyeball test. And the athleticism is there, but you just want more consistency from him. And then Jordan Travis, he's the injured guy, right? Coming off the broke leg, man. So you know he's on the shelf for a majority of your offseason, but you do feel like if he can get back healthy and return to form, that you're kind of getting a steal with, you know, the upside that he had, because he was projected to go a lot higher than 195, if we being real about it, man. So Daniel Eggleston, all right, I see what you was doing here. I kind of dig what you did with this one, Daniel. I ain't even gonna lie, I kind of dig this one, baby. Because you got me a tackle, you got me a center, you got me a receiver, you got me an LB, you doubled up on my DBs, you got me an upside and inside interior D lineman, and you got me a quarterback that down the line I can get jiggy with. Okay, all right. Got to get jiggy with it one time, yeah. All right, so let's see what the congregation is saying. Hey, shout out to you X Concepts as well. He just simply says, it's always a great day when Moats is live. Fire emoji. Nah, man, it's always a great day when I'm live and you're up here with me, baby. So salute you one time for the culture. All right. Max Rice gives it an A. Quan Summers, A. 900 Juice, A. Country Malik 48, A+. Yeesh. Q. Not a fan of memes. All right. Respect. Rob Lightfoot says. Oh, nope. That's not for this one. That's a different one. All right. Mano gives it an A also. Max Wright says Andrew Phillips' value is crazy. Yeah, in terms of getting him at 98, that's going to be a very interesting, pick as well. If he's available there, man, we love it. The same way we're looking at Zach Frazier and saying if he's available at 51, we love it. But definitely digging that, man. 900 Juice was a fan of the trade as well, man, in terms of trading back with the Buffalo Bills to go to 28 and then pick up that additional 60th overall pick. Phantom TV gives it an 8 out of 10. Okay, all right. Okay, now DJ M Squad says, look, bro, I like it, but this isn't realistic to him. All right, and I can understand that as well, man. I can definitely understand that. Okay. Ethan Leach says A, but I don't think Zach is there or even Xavier Legette. And those are very legitimate concerns, man, because both of those guys, I personally feel, get drafted a lot higher or higher than these mocks right here suggest. And yeah, that's the whole part that we're in right now, man. We're going to find out in a couple of days, though. Don't you worry. We're going to find out. We're definitely going to find out. Mist gives it an A minus. All right. Okay. All right. Shout out. And then Bryce also says, not a fan of Jackson. Gives it an A minus. All right. Well, man, we ain't tripping on that then, baby. We not tripping on that one there. Shout out to Daniel Eggleston, though, man. That was pretty clean. Y'all hit that like button if you're digging it. And, of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby. Next up, we got Al Nunya. Shout out to Al Nunya. Y'all take a peek at that. Tell me what y'all think. So once again, wide receiver in the first round. Boy, I'm telling you now, if you go Brian Thomas Jr., I'm not tripping. He's the one that's going to make me so conflicted about the thought process of the draft. I'm going to be over here like, bro, we need a center, but he's fire. I'm telling you. And if he's there at 20, that's the other part. I think he's going at, anywhere between 15, 18. But if he's there at 20, that's a hard one to pass up on because he can play. He can ball. The size as well. That's the big reason why he's talked about how he's talked about right now, man. So I'm a big fan of Brian Thomas and the upside. He was a hooper, basketball type dude, man, before he actually committed to being a full-time football player, man, once he got to LSU. So when I think of just how much more he can develop as a route runner, how much more he can develop in terms of just being a true wide receiver, that's the part that's, even more exciting about him. But he's already a natural catcher of the football, and he's extremely athletic, man. So shout out to this one. TJ Tampa at 51. Definitely like that one as well. Devontae Walker at 84. Shout out. Okay, we're going to go with some speed. We're going to go with some production. I ain't tripping. Hunter Norzad, 98th overall center out of Penn State. All right, okay. I ain't give me Mason Cole vibes. I ain't tripping, though. At 119, Tavondre Sweat. And then, Tavondre Sweat. Why I butcher this thing every single time? I don't know why. I do it every single time. Trevin Wallace at 178, man, and that dude can play as well, but I definitely like him. And then Nathan Thomas, big body tackle out of Louisiana. I was about to say Louisville. Jeez. But yeah, man, big fan of Brian Thomas. Started off, man, like I said, man, definitely like that part. TJ Tampa. Definitely like him, man. Like we talked about earlier, physical. He will hit you, but he's also productive and sticky at the catch point. Devontae Walker, I like his game, man, because like I said, he takes the top off of defense, man. Liked when got a chance to see him match up against Nate Wiggins also, because we think Nate Wiggins is another high-end corner that should be getting drafted pretty early. Come the draft and stuff like that. But I thought that Devontae Walker, man, or Tez Walker, I thought that, he definitely had his production against him and looked good. Now, this is my only gripe was, watching him at the Senior Bowl. His hands weren't as consistent as they were all season. So I'm hoping that was the outlier versus, that being a red flag. But that's kind of, how I felt about him. Hunter, in terms of Hunter at center, I don't hate it. Like I said, man, he's a Mason Cole version to me. I think he's Mason Cole light. Personally, if we're going to do this, I would still probably want to go back and try to re-sign Mason Cole if we can see if we can get a better number, I think I would do that. But I don't hate bringing in Hunter as well, though, because like I said, Hunter still could play center well. I just think that he's behind Cedric Van Pran. I think he's, we're starting to get a little bit lower. And now when you're asking these dudes to come and have to start, that's kind of why, do that internal battle. But because of the production that you got at the front end of this thing, I can't disagree per se. Now, the double wide receiver, in the first 3 picks, you can make a case like, do we need a Devontae Walker as well? Now, T'Vondre Sweat, I got it this time. Sweat, I got it. Yes. T'Vondre Sweat, definitely like him, man. I think he has a lot of upside as well, man. Just got to be more consistent. Trevin Wallace, man, could fly that back end in terms of that linebacker spot. Has a lot of production. He had turnovers, but I thought they were more of the opportunistic value. But being in the right place does matter. And that shows that you are watching some tape, man, and you're playing hard. Nathan Thomas, like I said, man, if you're bringing in depth, that's what Nathan is at this stage. But who knows, maybe he develops into more, once he's in the system, once he's around some of the guys. You talk about a Broderick, right? You talk about a Dan Moore. Maybe that rubs off and he's able to get even better. But in terms of the draft, in terms of this mock, don't love it as much as the other two. I think for me, it's the Tez Walker pick. I think if we have a different pick at 84, I think I like this a lot more. If I could swap out Hunter for Van Pran, I think I like it a lot more also. That's my own. Yeah, I think that's where I have my disagreement with you, Al Nunez. So let's see what the congregation says though, man. All right. Oh man, y'all kind of rough on this one. Sheesh. They're giving it a C by Q. Rod didn't get this one A. Nah. Rob Lightfoot gives it a D. Miz gives it a C minus. Michael Harag D minus. Phantom TV, this draft is a D. Man. Okay. Michael Martin asks, why is Trevin Wallace falling that far? I'm not showing this mock, but just from when I watch him on tape, I think that he is a little bit smaller. And when you throw in some of the small frame along with him not being, an elite fast dude, when I watch him just on tape, I think that's kind of what you run into. Now, I'm not sure what he timed at. He might have timed faster, but I think just from what I was watching on tape, that was kind of it. But his production, like I said, he was productive and he does make plays out there in terms of some splash plays. But it's weird in terms of when you're watching it. It's not like, you'll see him get an interception, but he's not the main guy in coverage. He's getting it off of, a couple tips. He picks up the fumble. It's like, he has that type of stuff, but still a good player. And that's the part where I think that's why they're just asking themselves, how much do you want to invest in him, based off of that type of production versus, per se, like a Junior Colson, who when you're watching him, he's the focal point of his production. He's not kind of benefiting from just the ball bouncing the right way or somebody else making the play and you kind of just getting there a little bit later to the party. That's just kind of, like I said, how I look at it. But yeah, that's just me. All right, Richard Adamson gives it a C minus. Ronnie Nura gives it a C. X Concepts gives it a B, strictly because of Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this, man. Like, if your mock has Brian Thomas Jr., it's hard for me to just kill it because I do feel like he is one of those guys that, yeah, he's going to be an impact dude. I think he has, that ability to grow into something more than just being wide receiver one. So that's the part for me, like I said, where I'm a little bit more excited about him. But yeah, this wasn't the most appealing draft to me per se, man. Spice Creation says, don't need to draft 2 wide receivers high, and the positions you need at the end of the draft isn't good, and that is also true, man. Yeah, the double up on wide receivers is heavy-handed, especially when you got a GP already here. It's not like we don't have GP and we're trying to restock the cupboard completely. We're saying to ourselves, man, we feel great about GP, but if we want some insurance or we want to push him, go get you, another high-end wide receiver. We don't need 2 of them things, man. So respect. All right. Shout out to Al Nunya, though. Now this last one that we're gonna react to today comes from the homie Samoan Sky, man. Shout out, or not Samoa. Shout out to the Samoan Sky. All right, one time for Samoan Sky. All right, y'all take a peek at that real quick. Let me know your thoughts. Take me a sip. Like I said, we staying hydrated. Stay hydrated, whatever you do. Oh, that's right. I probably should promo it. Cool little drink thing, you know. Shout out to the merch. Forgot about that. All right. So, with Samoan Sky, for him in the first round, he trades back, right? We get a situation where he trades back from 20 to 32, picks up an additional 64 and an additional 95th pick. All right, so an additional second, an additional third round pick by trading all the way back to 32 overall. All right, so with the 32nd overall pick, picks up Cooper DeJean, versatile safety corner out of Iowa. You already know. You see the smile. Definitely like that dude right there. 51, you give me Zach Frazier. Like I said, if he's available, let's get it. Then after that, Malachi Corley at 64 overall. Interesting player right here, man. You obviously know Deke talks about him a lot, man, when we're on the podcast. Very, very good player, though, man. The run after catchability, tough player, man. Definitely like him, though. Kyron Amegdije, the tall tackle out of Yale. Shout out to him, man. Fundamentals, I like his game. Dominic Pooney, interior offensive line guard out of Kansas in the third round as well, 95th overall. Then at 98th overall, he went Jalen Ford. Gave me an inside off-ball LB. Shout out. Luke McCaffrey at 119. We got an Infinity Stone with that. Sione Vaki, nice safety out of Utah, productive. I like the range on him, and at 195, he wanted to tug on my heartstrings. He said, I know you went to James Madison University, that beautiful university located in Harrisonburg, Virginia, right off of I-81, and it is gorgeous. And he said, let me go find a pass rusher. You was a nice pass rusher. Let me go find another nice pass rusher. And he gets Jalen Green out of JMU. Boy, I could just get us an A+++ right now. Okay? That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel, Samoan Sky. That's how I feel. All right, let me tell you why. Cooper DeJean, love the pick. I think with him, man, he gives us a lot of versatility from a defensive standpoint. We could play a lot more sub package as our base defense, which we already do a lot of, but we don't have to be compromised versus the run because Cooper can be that big body slot corner and treat him no different than a 4-3 will linebacker. Love that idea. But we also have the ability to play him at that safety spot and allowing Minka to be in the post while you put Cooper in the box, man. Can definitely do that, but he also could play outside corner as well, man. Big body dude, but more of an off-ball cover 3 type scheme dude, man. But I like Cooper. That's one of the ones for me, and you're getting him at 32, so the value I even love because you picked up 2 additional picks as well by trading back. Zach Frazier, fire pick. If he's there at 51, let's get it. Malachi Corley, he runs with that football. When he gets that football in his hands, man, on the perimeter, he is tough to tackle, man. He's more of a true traditional slot. He gives you some Zay Flowers light vibes. And the reason why I say light is because Zay Flowers was doing it at Boston College. Bigger body, better athletes across the board out there. Whereas with Malachi Corley, he's doing it at Western Kentucky. So obviously you're just, looking at different body types that he's going against defensively. And that was the one difference for me, man. But Malachi's definitely a good player. Like I said, with Kyron, the tall tackle out of Yale, I like his tape, man. To me, I think early on swing tackle vibes. We'll see what he could develop into, but definitely like him in terms of bringing him in, playing that right tackle spot, or at least competing if you wanted to push Dan more over there and see how those two dudes play it out. I don't hate that mindset. Dominic Pooney, man, when you're talking about adding interior depth, when you're talking about adding guys that can, win in the trenches, he's one of those guys, man. Definitely like him in terms of that interior swing, or not swing tackle, but swing guards, can play both guard spots. I do like that, man. Jalen Ford bringing another body into that room because we obviously know Cole Holcomb recovering, right? We don't know when he'll be back or what that's going to look like. We know we still got Landon Roberts. We feel great about Patrick Queen, and we still got Mark Robinson, right? But you want to bring in some youth. You want to bring in a dude that's athletic and productive. Jalen Ford checks all of those boxes, man. Physical player as well, so definitely like that. Luke McCaffrey, man, he's going to win. That's what he does, right? Stretch you down the grass, man. Really good player in terms of just the fundamentals of being a wide receiver. The route running, he looks like a son of an NFL player. That's how he plays the game, man. But the knock on him, not a blazer, right? It's not a blazer. But other than that, man, he's going to check off every box that you want. And the production was there for him at Rice. Sione Vaki, like I said, man, this dude, productive as heck, man. Like him. Plays safety, obviously, at Utah, man. But he's going to hit you, and he's going to be, like I said, a smart player in the coverage standpoint, man. So definitely, like I said, like Sione. And the one that I couldn't wait to talk about the most was Jalen Green. Because to me, man, if he's not injured, he's probably going third, fourth round. He's the, explosive pass rusher, can bend that edge, win with speed, has a nice repertoire of moves. The big thing is he's coming off of ACL. And when you tear your ACL and it hurts, all of your pro day combine type stuff, that's the reason why you're looking at him at 195 and not earlier in this day, man. But in terms of the potential upside with that pickup, man, I like it a lot. Man. So, y'all let me know your thoughts on Samoan Sky. All right. Shout out to Samoan Sky one time for the culture. One time. And yes, it was Kansas City. I should have said that. My apologies on that, man. Yes, it was Kansas City. He traded back with 32 overall. All right. So, let's see. All right. Trevin Smith Gibson gives it an A. Shout out. Okay. Malachi Espisha gives it an A+. Cody James says he loves McCaffrey too, man. Shout out. I'm telling you, man, McCaffrey wins. Like, he's not a blazer, but he knows how to run routes, and he's going to naturally catch that football. He plays like his daddy's in the pros. That's what he looks like, and that's why I like him. All right, shout out to Luke. All right. Let's see. You said, whose mock is this? Noriega, man. This is the homie Samoan Sky. Shout out to Samoan Sky. Chloe Smith gives it a B. Shout out to Chloe Smith one time. El Moranic says, get this man a job on the scout team. All right. I'm telling you, man, like, I like the pickup. I like some of these players that he went and found for us, man. Ooh, now Javi Bird 420 says double dipping for wide receiver is a no. Not a fan of the Malachi Corley and Luke McCaffrey double wide receiver pickup. Okay, all right, okay. Now Ethan Leach says, if it happened, same thing with Zach in the second. I just don't see it. And that's the one for me, man. It's like, you had a couple of these picks where if those guys are there, this is the stars aligning. This is a great scenario. But what is the true likelihood of this happening? That's, the question mark. And that's legitimate, man. That's definitely legitimate. X Concepts gives it a U for unrealistic. But we're going to find out how realistic or unrealistic, like I said, in a couple of days, man. We are getting closer and closer, man. That first round is coming up, man, on Thursday. Don't forget, we'll obviously be doing the live stream right here on the podcast, man. Me and Deke will do a live watch party covering the whole first round. So definitely tap in with us, man, so we can get our live reaction and see, which route we go with this thing, man. Then after that, man, at some point, I might get on here and stream, once or twice, man, over the weekend. I'll be down, though, man, because I know for myself, busy weekend coming up, man. Obviously, hosting some stuff for the Steelers down there at the NFL draft party Thursday, and then turning around on Saturday, doing stuff for them as well. So, like I said, your boy going to be having multiple hats. So, we definitely going to have that Thursday first round watch party. But other than that, man, I'm going to see when I can tap in and stuff like that as well, man. All right, so salute y'all. All right. But yeah, shout out to Samoan Sky, though. Shout out to Samoan Sky, man, in his mock draft. And each of the people that have sent them in that we did talk about today, your boy Dev, Daniel Eggleston, Al Nunya, and Samoan Sky, man. Salute all of y'all, man, for rocking with me, man, sending those mocks. That way we could react to them today on the show, man. But like I said, man, this is what we doing, man. mock draft season. Tomorrow on the podcast, man, me and Deep, we will do our official podcast mock draft, man, where I'll be GM, he'll be the head coach, and the chat. Y'all are +1. Y'all are, if we can't agree on it, man, we go to y'all and we see what y'all got to say about it, all right? So that's what we're going to rock out on tomorrow's show, man, so definitely tap in. If you do want to send in some mocks, like I said, there is a chance that we might get to them at some point this week, might not, but worst case, we do put a lot of them and we feature a lot of them on the website, arthurmoats.com. So if you want to send them in, send it in to moatswinners@gmail.com. My last name, moatswinners@gmail.com. Or if you're trying to communicate, that's the best way, man. That's how we get all the convos going and stuff like that. But also, man, arthurmoats.com. Like I said, that's the website. We put a lot of the mocks that we don't talk about live up there as well, man. All right, so definitely check out all of those things. And tomorrow it'll be at 4 o'clock. All right, Jacob, 4 o'clock for the stream tomorrow, man. So definitely tap in. Don't forget to hit that like button one time. If you have not done so, hit that thing. Bing! And then subscribe if you are new to the channel, baby, all right? Because as you see, you never know when we might pop up. And don't forget that notification bell. I seen it. That notification bell was notifying today. I seen a couple of y'all was hitting, oh, we got the bang, ding, ding, ding. All right? So salute y'all. Salute y'all. All right? But either way, man, you know I appreciate you for tuning in. Stay safe out there. And until next time, baby, peace.